So, of course, we are delighted to be hosting an event during this time. This is an opportunity, obviously, to celebrate, within UK-based communities on what we are continuing to do to tackle climate change and encourage others to get involved, especially in the run-up to COP26 in Glasgow. As well, it's very much a time for reflection, but it's also about connecting and bringing new focus and energy to the problems that still lie ahead of us. So today we're all here to learn, to discuss and campaign for some of the world's most marginalized communities, that have already been dealing with the impacts of climate change on the front line for years. These are the same communities that we know have contributed least to the climate crisis. So coffee growers and their local communities in Rwanda and Uganda, they're among those who are directly affected today by the severity and the frequency of natural disasters. And we really want to make sure that these farmers are part of the international community solution to achieving a net zero world. And it is really their voices that must be heard and their concerns that must be taken into account. So in terms of what specifically brings the 6 Rwandan and Ugandan cooperatives and the representatives that we're going to hear from today, these are the coffee producer partners in the Scottish Fair Trade Forum and Olema Fairer Farming Fund's exciting new B2B coffee initiative. So acting as importers of their green fair trade specialty coffee, we want to bring to life calls for change in the global Build Back Fairer movement, and really to support for social enterprises locally and globally post COVID-19. We know that the impact of the pandemic is still heavily being felt by individuals and communities globally, and it really is a stark reminder of the fragility of our global supply chains, especially for our everyday household items like coffee, the ones that we take for granted. So, we know that already economically marginalized farmers and workers, they do continue to be hit particularly hard. And, unless we support a new approach to trade in the face of this climate emergency, the situation really is only going to get worse. So, at a time when new recovery strategies are being developed for this post-COVID-19 world, we want to support that kind of current heightened awareness around sustainability and climate justice, and really to demonstrate that there is a fairer, more inclusive and commercially viable model of trading and approach to international partnerships. We want to show that that is possible. It is one that puts people and planet before profit, and we think consequently is one more resilient in the face of future emergencies. So what we're trying to do through this initiative is forge lasting links and open collaboration between Rwandan and Ugandan specialty coffee producers and the UK's coffee community. And, we really need the strength and the local connections of fair trade and climate campaigners throughout the UK who are going to help us get the word out to their local coffee shops and roasters. And I know that we will have a number of campaigners on the call today. And, we would love you to get in touch to see how we can collaborate and campaign together, really for this fairer, more inclusive and more sustainable supply of high quality East African coffee. So I've put the email address, you can get in touch with us. I'll also put it in the chat box as well. But for now, I'd actually just like to introduce Elaine Jones, who is the chair of the Brighton and Hove Steering Group and is also a partner in our B2B coffee project. And she is going to chair our panel discussion for our event. So we have 6 speakers today who are going to give us some introductions, and then we'll head straight into some questions. And if you do have any questions of your own, please feel free to put them in the chat box while we hear from the speakers, and we'll find time to pick up on as many as we can along the way. So for now, I'll pass over to Elaine. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ross. I'm going to try and share my screen. to get the PowerPoint up. Sorry, bear with me. Oh dear.
See if I can give you a hand. I'll try share on your behalf, and we can get started. Give me a second. Okay. Is that showing for everybody okay there? Good stuff.
Yes.
Okay, can everybody see? Great, so let's get started. So first of all, may I introduce Japhet from Cooperative in Rwanda. Kogai, over to you. Japhet.
Good morning. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Loud and clear.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. My name is Japhet Habimana. I work for Kokaji on the position of Executive Secretary 15 years ago. Kokaji is a coffee farmers cooperative, which was created in 2004 by 16 coffee farmers. Members has increased. Currently, we do have 1,114. Among them, 298 are women, while 816 are men. They are happy to work together. When they created the cooperative, they had a goal. That goal was the socio-economic development through coffee promotion. To promote coffee, what they do, they maintain the coffee plantation, they do the processing in the washing station, and they look for the market for fair price. It is a cooperative which is democratic. On the leadership, we do have the General Assembly, Board of Directors, and the Internal Control Committee. About the management, we do have a team of trained people like Executive Secretary, the washing station managers, accountant, and the agronomist. And we do have also field officers who work together closely with the coffee farmers. We do have 2 washing stations with the capacity of 1,200 tons of cherries, which can make up to between 8 to 9 containers per season. We are fair trade certified, rainforest certified, and about the market, we sell our coffee to mainly to Europe, like UK. We do have 2 buyers in the UK, 1 buyer in Italy, and apart of that, we have also 1 buyer from US. We do have a new brand of coffee, women coffee, which is called Agasaro. Agasaro is a Rwanda name. This coffee for this season was sold to a new buyer from the US. About the financing, we use the finance from shared interest and root capital. So I want to talk about climate change. Climate change for us is a big issue which is affecting our production. We can have a heavy rain. When you have a heavy rain, it is bad for the production, especially when you have the snow. During the sun, we can have a long period of the sun. When this is the case, the production is affected by the sun. Given that the climate change is a problem, our members and the readers sat together and discuss about what they can do according to the program which our government has set up. What we do, we mobilize our members to manage for best management of the forest, the existing forest. In Rwanda, we have a culture which says that when you cut one tree, you plant two. Everyone is aware about this, even young peoples. When you cut one, you plant two. We do also, there is another program which is to mobilize the people to avoid the air pollution. We do also, as coffee farmers, we focus on the environment protection. We do the shade trees within coffee plantations. To achieve this, our cooperative has the responsibility to set up the nursery and distribute shade trees to young shade trees to farmers. 3 years ago, we have distributed 40,000 trees to our members, and we have also we have our coffee plantations for the cooperative. We have also planted 1,000 shade trees to be a model to our members. Apart from that, at the washing station, we have, with the support with challenges, we have built a wastewater treatment so that we can do the recycling of the water, and you separate the millage and coffee pulps. After the season, we can make a compost from coffee pulps to use in the coffee plantation. We do also have another program which was approved by the General Assembly, which is called Zero Carbon Program within the cooperative. With this program, we are mobilizing our people to use cooking gas instead of charcoals, because when you use the cooking gas, we will not need to go to the forest to cut them and use them for the cooking. We do also mobilize our people to use biodegradable materials at home so that we can keep our soil. At the washing station, we are now changing our drying tables, because before they were built by the trees, but now with the support of challenges also, we have started the project of replacing them by using the metal. This project is ongoing. I think at the end of this season or at the end of next year, we will have replaced every drying table which is built in by using the trees. We will change them to the metal drying tables one. I think in summary, we see that the climate change is a big concern. We have to talk about, and you have to decide on how we can keep our program to be safe and to ensure that our production will be sustainable. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Can we go now to Bahati from Cooperative?
Thank you very much. My name is Bahati Thierry. I'm manager of Cooperative Teguri. Let's start with presentation of the summary of our cooperative. Cooperative Teguri is a Rwandan cooperative of coffee farmers from Chibuye, which started from 2005 with 7 members, but now we are 1,264 members. It means the 709 is men and 555 is women. Before the cooperative, there were many problems in coffee farming. For example, there were students who lost the opportunity to go to school because they work in coffee at home. There is no secret because sometimes there is someone who wanted to steal their coffee, and there is no interest because the someone who buy the coffee, he buy on the price they want. There is no conversation between them. I think that is the why we create Kopakachi. After creating cooperative, we set the objective for answering this problem. Our objective is to increase coffee in the quality and the quantity. We suggest this objective because if you increase the quality and the quantity, it's possible to get a good market. The second is solving some problems of our members. For example, we help them to get the school fees, to pay the social assurance, to maintain the coffee, to replace the old coffee, and so on. Our cooperative, as Kokadi, we have an organ. First, we have General Assembly, Administrative Committee, and Control Committee. Let's talk about management. You have the permanent workers, temporary workers, and occasional workers. When you start with free permanent workers, but now we have 17 workers. We start with 2 temporary workers, but now we have 7. We start with 20 occasional workers, but now we use 235 workers. I think in our production, we have a capacity of producing 6 containers. Each container have the 18 tons of green coffee. We produce coffee which are certified in fair trade and then forest areas. We have a market from USA, Europe, and so on. We have the partner. Someone we forget the fair trade, but for us, fair trade is the first because in general our market is market which are certified in the fair trade, and we start to get many profit from fair trade. For example, we started to get fertilizer from the productive animal, which we give the farmer from fair trade. We have another partners, for example, like ONGO, who help us in the training. We get the training like how we can plant the coffee and sustainable. We get training on how we make a good nursery and technology because the quality of coffee comes from nursery. We get the training on washing station management. get training on price risk management. We get training on the how we prepare the compost and so on. So we have the problem, then some of the problem in our project phase 3. Here in general in Uganda, our farmers is old. Even the coffee tree is old, but we started to take the strategic how to solve them. That where we started to mobilize the young farmer to encourage to go in the coffee business. In Uganda, the young people, they wanted to go into profitable project soon, because in the coffee, they have the bad news. They know that the coffee, it takes 3 years before starting the harvest. But we started to show them how we can start to harvest before 1 year. I know that it's possible, depending on how we maintain the coffee. Let's speak on climate change. As Jafet says, recently Kopakachi, the climate change is a very big problem, because in the coffee business or in the coffee farming, we need both rain and sun. But there is somewhere we need the rain, but the sun is the calm. There's somewhere we need the sun, rain calm. But we try to take a strategy where we start to distribute our members the shade tree, and some training on how we can arrange to plant coffee in both time, where we have a sun and where we have rain. So with partner, we think we achieve the goal of to resolve the problem. Thank you.
Thank you, Bahati. So in the interest of time, we should move on now to Safari from Cooperative. And Safari, may I request that you keep your time so that we allow for the Ugandan cooperatives to have enough time to present. Thank you.
Thank you so much. My name is Safari Bonaventure, Executive Secretary of Cooperative. Cooperative is the cooperative coffee growers, was created in 203 with 167 members. Today, Cooperative we count 1,316 producer members, of which 297 are women. The Cooperative take care of 745,000 coffee trees. Cooperative located in Sanfani province of Rwanda, Nyamagabe district in Cyanika sector. Our exceptionally coffee grow at the edge of Nyungwe rainforest, protected natural reserve. We have a free coffee roasting station alimented by natural spring water from the mountain. And one dry mill helps the cooperative in the export activities. Our coffee grow at an altitude between 1,085 to 1,000 high level. Our good governance in Coacacá, we have a General Assembly, Control Committee, Board of Direction, and we have Party of Management divided by free party. We have Executive Secretary, agronomist, seasonal workers, and permanent workers, and the guards. The service, the cooperative offer to support to the members. We say support to pay school fees and pay a health insurance, to give a job to members, giving the bonus and the other. The cooperative is certified by Fair Trade since 2004, Rainforest and Woods 2017, and Organic 2020. In export activities, the cooperative is a shareholder of Gwashosco. Gwashosco means Rwanda Small Holders Specialty Coffee Company here in Rwanda, to help Coacacá in the export activities and the logistics. We sell our coffee to the planet, different planets, as we say UK, Japan, and Australia. The score in our cooperative is high, start to 85 score up to 9. We have the partners. The partners we say are NAEB, National Agriculture Export Development, to help the cooperative, the document, support document to export. We say also Rwanda Cooperative Agency in guiding the cooperative here in Rwanda. We have also Fair Trade. The Fair Trade is to join Lorongenship through different certification give us, because a good collaboration as participation in the African Convention and the also different like SKY. I talk about also impact of climate change here in Coacacá. I started to the local community. As our colleague Kokaji and Kopakachi say, sometimes we have the period, the long period of sun and also the rain. The long period of rain cause the soil erosion. The soil erosion is to remove the soil, and we plan to plant shady tree to maintain the soil. We have also the loss in the coffee quantity because of the rain, because of the amahindu. Amahindu, it's the name, Rwandan name. As Miss Lisa explained in English, the amahindu. Those amahindu as decrease the quantity and increase the workers, because in selecting those coffee and damaged by a Mahindu, it maintain a lot of workers. About the adaptation and mitigation, the cooperative sensitization on trans maintenance and the construction of new one of planting value shade tree. We have also attention to coffee processing at the coffee washing station. Though in the protection of environment, we plan to prepare nursery start last year in the 2020. The nursery we prepare in the 1,000 coffee tree of Graveria. Those Graveria are distributed to the coffee plantation of farmers. We also to protect the wastewater, the water we use in the coffee washing station during the season. We use the coffee in the popping coffee cherries. The water we use are not good. We breed wastewater treatment to free coffee washing station of Wakaka to manage the water. The pulp from coffee cherries in the coffee processing, the pulp we use in the compost to get organic manure. And also we plan to breed the the table, because in the drying coffee, we dry to the table to breed by trees, and the trees is not good, because the trees is to protect the environment. To reduce to use the trees with a partnership of challenges, we started to breed the meta of table of meta. I think I'll close here my summary. If our guest, we can ask the question, the question answer. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Safari. I would like to just suggest that we may run over time since we are running a bit late. I hope people could stay on until about 15:15. For those who can't, we quite understand. So we go to Enosi from Carbonero Cooperative.
Thank you very much. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Enos Mutahinga. I work with the Carbonero Mountaineers Coffee Growers Cooperative. Carbonero Mountaineers Coffee Growers Cooperative is found in Carbonero Sub-County, Nyangabo District, in the Rwenzori region of Western Uganda. It was established in 2013 with 400 coffee farmers. Currently, we have 1,015 members, of which 595 are males, 420 are females. The cooperative is fair trade certified, as you can see. We are now in high gears to get organic and geographical indication certifications. Our coffee farms are found on altitude, at altitude between 1,706 to 1,900 meters and above. Our nearby city is Fort Portal Tourism City, and they are 39 kilometers from Fort Portal Tourism City to our cooperative. We produce both natural and washed Arabica of high quality. Concerning the climate change has affected our area, our members in particular, in many ways. Sudden climate change, such as prolonged drought, has resulted into low crop yields, reducing household incomes by 30%. We have experienced landslides, more especially in the upper community, which washed away farmers' crops. And in our area, around 20 people were affected seriously. They lost their crops due to landslides. Floods also do destruct roads, bridges, property, and kill animals. Sometimes people lose their lives. This makes life so complicated, more especially when the bridges and roads have been destroyed by floods. People find it very difficult to access health services, to access the markets. This also affects the cooperative in general. Floods have also forced people to migrate from the places of their preferences to other places, and people have been shifted to camps. There has also been a reduction in food availability due to climate changes, and to this, the cooperative has come up to establish nutrition gardens so that they can supplement on the scarcity or on the little food due to climate change. There is also variations in coffee seasons. We usually to have our fly or minor crop between February to May, but now we have it from March to June. And there is a continuous harvesting of micro volumes. Even during the off season, you find some farmers harvesting some coffee. And the cooperative is now looking at planning to do micro lots, because that's how we can export or we can sell these micro harvests. On adapting to the climate change, farmers have started growing other crops that take short period of time to grow, so that they can support the little food or the little crops that give them food. We are also doing a diversification of income, whereby you have farmers who are keeping poultry, animals, and also women are doing craft work. We are also training them on how they can open up other ventures so that they can generate income from many sources. We are doing the following as a cooperative in response to the climate change. We have started working on efficient use of energy and water. whereby we are adopting on other methods of processing, like the semi-washed method of processing, construction of a lagoon where we can put the water after processing, and also we are looking at recycling. We are constructing a shelter where we can compost our coffee pulp and husks from, so that we can convert them back into organic manure that we can give to farmers on a subsidy basis. We have put a system of harvesting water, whereby we have acquired some tanks so that we can start harvesting water, rainwater. We are promoting more sustainable use of land and forests through the use of good agronomic practices. We have established nutrition gardens both at the cooperative and household level, so that they can boost to prevent malnutrition, more especially when there is a scarcity of food. People or children can develop or can become malnourished. If we cooperate, if we work with the other organizations like UK as a country, I think if we can get support to do projects that can tackle climate changes, such as planting of indigenous trees that can cut emissions, trees that can be used for shade and windbreaks, we can mitigate this climate change. If we could also work with organizations that can support cooperatives to formulate policies on climate change, so that the cooperatives can start with their members to implement, to enforce those policies. We are also looking at forming committees, climate change committees at the cooperative level, so that they can oversee the climate change issues. We are also looking at starting, if we get support and start using energy saving stoves and biogas.
Thank you,
so that we
Enosi.
can reduce on the use of trees. Yes, thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Enosi. So let's press on with Peter from BUKA, please. Do we have Peter? Ronald, are you with Peter? Looks like we may have lost.
Let me confirm that. Let me confirm.
Okay.
There we are,
Peter. There was a problem. Those I was following. Thank you,
Peter,
everyone.
Can you please keep to your 5 minutes, please, because we're running late. Thank you.
Okay, Peter Marahi from BUKA, Buyendera Farmers Cooperative Society, a cooperative that formed in 2014. Currently, we're having 417 farmers. We are located in Bondebujo district, and this is in Uganda, along the ranges of Mount Rwenzori, and actually in the hills, right in the hills. We are, as for now, we are organic certified, We just acquired this certificate in this year. And we have a capacity of producing up to at least 50 metric tons, 2 containers annually. We formed with 2 major objectives, and this was one, to keep our children, to sustain our children in school up to completion, and basically having a collective bulking for our coffee for a better market sourcing. So those are the 2 major objectives that we have and we still stand for as a cooperative. Now, on the side of climate change, yes, it has been an issue and is still an issue. It spans right from the time we formed as for BUKA, the time we formed in 2014, up to 2018. Here we realized some kind of prolonged drought, and this had to drop down the yields of our farmers. Some stock lives were at stake and everything was not really doing well. However, it's kind of not really predictable. When we came to 2019, up to 2020, just of recent, we had to experience a lot of heavy rainfall. And just like my colleague, the one we share with almost the same plains, has just mentioned, we had heavy landslides. And it's unfortunate that as a district registered about 22 deaths. And from the 22 deaths, it's start to mention that nine of these people were directly attached to our members. Some were children of the cooperative members, and some were relatives. So in this incident, a lot of crops were destroyed, of course, including coffee farms and even food crops. So it was really tragic, and almost as a cooperative, we were so affected. And from that, even up to now, that effect is still carrying on, since now the yields, because of the land, the fields that were lost, had to reduce. Now this 2021, I think I'm happy to report that the climate is a bit stable. We have both the rain and the sunshine, which even is giving kind of a good picture. If you looked at the fields, there'll be some good yield, which we hope where we hope to start from there and take on life, continue with life. Now, well, as a measure of mitigation, I would like to convey my gratitude to Rwenzori Sustainable Trade Center, who have always come in, and especially on this climate change, one of the measures that we put across was by the help of RSTC, Rwenzori Sustainable Trade Center. They organized trainings, farmer trainings on how to really catch up and adapt these changes as farmers. And these trainings have been carried on over the radios and up to farm level, up to the farmers down. And we really appreciate. And from this, we had to, as a cooperative, encourage our farmers in the 3 communities. We operate in 3 communities of individual district. We have Busamba, we have Karangitsio and Pomboli. So we had to bring all these farmers on board and explained to them how we need to fight this all together. And we were able to establish nursery beds, three nursery beds of both indigenous trees, since we also need to really preserve nature. And this is all because, as you all know, climate changes, also human activities tend to really impose a lot of impact when it comes to human activities. So we encouraged these farmers to be cooperative, and we had to establish 3 nursery beds, that is in each community, about 1,000 trees. We have even started giving out these trees, including coffee trees and shade trees for coffee, especially for those who lost their crops, their trees, their coffee trees during this landslide insurgency. So we are happy that our farmers are able to cooperate, and they carried on, and they, in a way, owned this activity. Now, secondly, still with the help of Rwenzori Sustainable Trade Center as our partner, we were able to train, we have been able to train a number of youths from all these 3 communities in energy stove making and briquette production. Briquette production, kind of charcoal, which basically manufactured from waste and other by coffee products like coffee husks. And we are privileged that since we are producing our own coffee and we're able to hull it, we are able to collect even the husks and be able to mix with some other waste from other different let's be crops and the rest, to be able to manufacture these charcoals of course in a struggle to protect as much as possible the environment from factors that would lead to degradation and lead to such occurrences like what happened in 2019. And we have encouraged our farmers to join village saving groups. In fact, in every community we went opening for them a village saving group, which are also doing well, but these are mostly managed by women. And then we have some women who are doing crafts. They weave baskets and other items in line with that, with weaving. I think in the interest of time, I may have to stop here to end here, but please, we are looking forward to any support in terms of knowledge and in any other form. Thank you, everyone. I submit.
Thank you very much, Peter.
Welcome.
Thank you so much. So I'm not sure. Do we have Davis in the call?
Yes, I'm available here.
Davis, very good. Could you please
Yes.
keep your comments to 5 minutes maximum?
Yeah, thank you so much, Elaine. My name is Davis Mibiri. I work with Karangura Big Modern Coffee Farmers Cooperative. We are located in Kabarole district, southwestern part of Uganda, Rwenzori region. As a cooperative, we started in 2013 with 250, and currently we are 705. where 47% of this membership are females, totaling, and these are 309. So the 398 are males. Karangura Peak is fair trade certified, and we are undergoing organic. As far as the today's topic of climate change, you know, climate change, this actually refers to the changes in the Earth's climate, which is either at local, regional, or global scale. And some of these, actually what causes climate change, sometimes we say it is anthropogenic, which we may simplify and say they are human caused. And when we look at them, we see human activities like deforestation, where people actually have continuously cut down trees, quarrying and mining, which is affecting actually the climate and contributing to high rate of climate change, bush burning, and clearing wetlands. When I go to the effects of climate change, we have so many issues that are resulting as a result of climate change. As a cooperative, there has been delayed or shifting of harvesting periods. Like at this time, we would have actually harvested a lot of coffee, but to our dismay, we have just started actual harvesting. So this means we received a lot of rainfall instead of sunshine, because for coffee actually to bear fruits, it must undergo a situation of where there's a lot of sunshine. Then from there, it receives this rainfall, and then you see the flowering stage occurring. But this is something that is quite different. Instead of receiving sunshine, we received rainfall. And this has shifted the harvesting period. Secondly, we see loss of people's lives as a result of landslides. In the region, because of too much rainfall, landslides occurred and have continuously occurred, where lives of people were lost. And these actually, as a cooperative, they were relative to our cooperative members. Thirdly, we see loss of people's crops and assets. Of course, when where there's crop, we see coffee as the cash crop, and other assets actually in the household, which this actually complicates the livelihoods of our farmers, because when they lose actually coffee, they are losing money. When they lose assets, they spend much money in compensating or buying back those assets. As a cooperative, we also see, like as I earlier mentioned, we have a production capacity of 10 containers per year. At this time, we would have harvested coffee that is equivalent to 2 containers, but now we are starting. So that means this is affecting the market and the time for us to export. As a cooperative, we have mitigation measures. Actually, we have control measures, and one being protecting the forests. As a cooperative, we have continuously sensitized our farmers on how to protect and bring down the cutting down of trees. So this, in line with the environmental protection, we have moved ahead and sensitized our farmers on how to control soil erosion by digging trenches, by mulching, and also water harvesting and management, because actually these are some of the issues actually that result to climatic changes in the region. Secondly, we have, if we were, okay, we have engaged the government also to help the cooperative reach other members in the community who may not be members of the cooperative. So government, in line with the cooperative, we have done a lot, and they have also actually backed up with the cooperative to see that members altogether, both cooperative members and the non-members in the cooperative are sensitized, and also law is put in place as a way of controlling the environment. Because in this, we realized as a cooperative that mining and quarrying had actually moved far in as far as scooping sand from the running rivers. And this would also reduce the volumes of the waters. And secondly, wetland were also tampered with. So that's why government was also involved, so that actually law is introduced and we are able to control our natural resources. Thirdly, we have introduced our farmers as a cooperative to other crops and activities in as a way of controlling and bringing them together in other activities that actually will help them earn a living. Because we realized that those who are directly in quarrying and mining, they were destroying the environment. So we had to introduce them to other activities, like bringing them directly in the cooperative to be direct actual members and participate in the trade. Also introducing other food crops and lobbying for them other markets, so that they are able to sell and get money in the compensation of what they were getting from quarrying and mining. So in brief, this is what we are doing as Karangura Peak in as far as controlling climate and conserving the environment is concerned. Thank you so much for this session.
Thank you very much, Davis. Now we are really out of time. We've got 5 minutes to go. It's important to remember that this week, Big Green Week, is in the run-up to COP26 in November. And so what I'd like to pose, the question I'd like to pose to the participants, the presenters, is we know this week is a chance to reflect on what real and tangible action we could take in the UK to tackle climate change. And from your perspective, as the cooperative representatives, what would you want everyone on the call today to know and do? What can we take away from today? So if we go in reverse order, very, very quickly. So Davis, just one sentence, what would you want people to take away from today?
Yeah, thank you so much for that question. As a cooperative, I see actually what people should take, including the participants, what we should take home is that our efforts should be actually driven, should be focused on conserving the environment. And this, along the business we are doing with the members, I think much on, can I say 90% should also be included in the agriculture, so that actually our members are aware of what brings the climatic changes, and then we see how they can actually understand, so that it's not an ambush to them, because actually understand some of the farmers who are not aware of what could be the causes of climatic changes. So I think as a cooperative, we need actually to mentor our farmers so that actually it becomes a walking stick, so that they already so that they know how to control and reduce the rate of climatical changes in the region.
Peter, what's the takeaway from today for everybody on this call? Peter?
Sorry, I had muted my microphone. My takeaway is whatever everyone is doing as a measure of mitigating the climate changes is okay. But what I request is, and as a takeaway, we need to expand our network. We need to involve and invite as many actors as possible. Government agents should come in, non-governmental agents should come in, because in all these areas, there are people who have the knowledge to really address the issues to do with climate change. We should not just do it alone. Let us involve as many actors as possible. Thank you.
Thank you. So another question is, how does the payment of the fair price for your coffee from your buyers, what role does it play in ensuring you have the capacity to mitigate and adapt to climate change? Enosi. Do we have Enosi?
Yes, can you hear me now?
Yes, please.
Yes, I was saying that after making ourselves, there is a premium money that we do get. And after realizing these climate changes, there is a certain percentage that we have allocated that we will be putting aside so that it helps us in mitigating the climate change effects.
Thank you. Safari, could you also speak to this question of the fair price and how that helps in your mitigation measures? Safari?
Hello.
Yes, please, just one sentence.
Yes, you can repeat the question because
yes,
yeah.
the role, how does the payment of the fair price help you in your measures to tackle climate change?
The payment price for farmers is depend in harvesting. We the NAIEB, National Agriculture Board Development, is the fixing minimum price to pay the coffee cherries, and then after selling our coffee, we distribute the farmer second payment. The payment also, it depends the quantity of farmers are bring to coffee roasting station.
Okay, thank you. So now, Bahati, could you also speak, please, to the question of how the fair price helps your cooperative take measures to tackle climate change?
Yes, thank you. For us, as I say, you have main problems of old coffee and old farmers. So we want to engage the young farmer in the coffee business. The reason why that premium, we use it to create some project which is used to mobilize there's a young farmer, because we want to have the young coffee farm, young coffee tree, young farm, because when you train the young farm, is understandable than to train old farm. Thank you.
Thank you. And lastly, Japhet, please, could you speak to this point about the payment of the fair price? Japhet, you need to unmute yourself.
Hello.
Yes, please.
I was saying that for us as a cooperative, as an organization, when you have a fair price, we make more profit. From the profit, we can organize some projects relating to climate change, like what I said. We can buy cooking gas to distribute to our farmers. We can also invest in forest plantations. Thank you.
Thank you, Japhet. I'm afraid we're out of time, but just to summarize, I think we've heard very clearly from the cooperatives represented here today how they are very much on the front line of the impact of climate change, and how through taking measures to mitigate that impact, they are actually putting the income that they receive as a cooperative to really special use in terms of combating the effects of climate change. So what we're trying to do with this B2B initiative that we have started is to build closer linkages between the farmers in the cooperatives and you, the consumers. And we really hope that you're inspired by what you've heard today, and that you can also help us to mobilize as activists, as interested consumers to get a reach into independent roasters and coffee shops. More will be put on the website, and this recording, I think, Ross, will go on the website if I'm right, if I'm correct. So thank you all for your participation and patience, and I'm sorry we've taken you over time, but I hope you think that you got some clear takeaways from today's call. Thank you very much, everybody, and we look forward to continuing this conversation.
Thank
Thank you.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Okay.